An economic recovery has begun. America's possibilities are limitless, for we possess all the qualities that this world without boundaries demands: youth and drive, diversity and openness, an endless capacity for risk, and a gift for reinvention.
The president on Monday tried to sound an optimistic tone when it comes to our economy. But after crunching the numbers, some economists say we are now in the midst of the worst recovery in American history. Meantime, a new survey finds that 72% of those polled believe that reducing the budget deficit should be a top priority in this country. That's a jump of nearly 20 percentage points from just 4 years ago. Melissa Francis is the anchor of Money with Melissa Francis on the Fox Business Network. She's with me now. So, all right, so what I get from that, and you're the money gal, is they care, and they care a lot more than they ever have when it comes to reducing the deficit, the people, the debt and the deficit. But the president says we're in a recovery, and yet the economists say, wah, wah.
I mean, it's the worst recovery ever. And this isn't subjective. I mean, these are numbers. This is coming from the St. Louis Fed. And what they're doing is they're tracking GDP growth from the bottom, which was the second quarter of 2009. And they're watching it trend up.
The GDP.
Exactly. It's how the goods and the that we are producing and selling around the world, what we're making as a country. And it has gone up at the slowest rate ever. You know, there was a range, the worst recovery ever, then the average, and then the best. And we were in the middle. Now we've dropped completely below the range. So this is officially the worst ever. Banks are looking at this and putting out data that's the same. But, you know, it's not a partisan thing. It's just the fact. And
why?
People can feel it.
That begs the question of why. Why is the recovery so disappointing?
It's not for lack of trying. I mean, you know, they point to the Federal Reserve and everything they've done to try and spur the economy and make money loose all around the country.
Interest rates.
All that kind of stuff. That was going to help with housing. It was going to help with jobs. That just getting money out there in the system was going to fix the problem. And all that's done is juice the stock market. Because if you look over the same period of time, the stock market has bounced all the way back. I mean, the S&P 500 right now is back to where it was in December of 2007. Damn. If you kept your money in the market,
I knew I should have invested something.
There you go. You made it back. You can't say that for jobs. You can't say that for housing. House values aren't back to where they were in 2007. The only thing that you can talk about is the stock market. And unfortunately, more than 1 in 4 Americans took money out of their 401k to try and deal with the problems they were having with their mortgage, being out of work, sending their kids to school. So while the very wealthy caught back up because they left their money in the market, the average person is further behind than ever before.
Is this a worse recovery than we saw after the Great Depression? I mean, it's the worst truly ever.
Ever.
They always talk about the Reagan recovery when he took over as president and how great it was. You know, how he had huge growth and it didn't take very long and so on. What are the differences? I mean, what are the key things that Reagan was doing that Barack Obama's not?
I mean, people have all kinds of different opinions about that. They say it has to do with the tax environment, about having businesses feel free and not worried about risk out there. You know, when I talk to CEOs, I talked to one recently who, you know, doesn't want to be named, who said he feels like he gets pistol whipped by the government every time he turns around. You know, that whether it's tax policy, it's regulation, it's this or that, makes him very conservative about expanding his business, opening up new outlets, new branches, whatever, and about hiring people because you just fear what's coming ahead. It's hard to put your finger on exactly what's different.
You know, you're not in the mood to take big risks.
Yeah, absolutely, when you see what's out there. But no matter how you slice it, it is officially now, according to the St. Louis Fed, the worst recovery ever.
Congratulations.
I know.
We're number one.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Melissa, thank you.
I'll come back with better news next time, I promise.
Tune in at Money with Melissa Francis at 5 p.m. today on FBN, and she'll be
some
smiling.
good news. I'll try.
She'll look dazzling. It'll be a great show. Thank you.